Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. We're just moments away from the action. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
Welcome in, everyone, to this presentation of the National Football League on EA Sports. The preseason is upon us. So good to be with you. Mike Tirico with Greg Olson, about to embark on that journey that ends with the Super Bowl. Greg, so good to finally have football back on the field.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter if it's preseason, regular season, playoffs. When NFL football's on TV, Mike, it's just better. And I'll tell you what, for these teams and a lot of these young players, this is the start. Just like you said, this is a journey to making the roster, a journey to being there in week 1. And for a lot of these teams that have playoff hopes, it seems like small beginnings, but this is where those playoff dreams and ultimately those Super Bowl runs all get their starts.
Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And they will finally track him down, but not before he takes this to the other side of midfield. So the visitors ready to go on offense here for the first time. And leading them, Greg, the veteran out of West Virginia, it's Geno Smith.
Judging by our conversations with the coaches, Mike, I think it's a pretty safe bet. We won't be seeing a lot of this guy. I think what they're trying to do is just get him under center, knock off some of the rust of the offseason, and get him a couple live reps before he starts in week 1. At the end of the day, you just can't replicate this style of live action in practice. So whether you're an established veteran like him or a young quarterback, these reps in the preseason are invaluable.
It's a gain of 10 yards. That's enough for a first down. He'll keep it on the ground and keep it with Walker. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down. Lockett headed in motion. Smith and Jigba left side. He's got it. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down. Once again, it's Walker. And that's a productive run. He gets this one down to the 4. The tight end Fant in motion. On second down, Walker. Let's give him a yard down to the 3-yard line. Seventh play of this opening drive, and here's third down.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Geno. And that is Hunt in the end zone. He's in. And they get the first points of the game. What a way to start it, Greg. You get the ball. It's what you want to do. Settle into this game on top 6-0.
Mike, how often do we have coaches tell us the importance of playing with the lead? Well, they come take the ball right away on the first drive, all the way down there and strike first. And now the rest of the way, let's see how it plays out.
Jason Myers on to attempt the extra point. The kick is good. And the visitors will take a 7-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This one will be taken in the end zone. No run back forthcoming. And the ball coming out to the 30-yard line. This crowd ready in anticipation. Their offense taking the field for the first time. Led by their quarterback, the 6th overall pick in the 2020 draft. It's Justin Herbert.
Starting all the way back in the spring, Mike, there has been months of preparation building up for this very game. And for a lot of the guys on the sideline that have been around for a long time, these preseason games might not feel all that important. But I promise you, to that young guy who's putting an NFL helmet on for the very first time, running out of that tunnel, these games go a long way, not only to making this current roster, but trying to make a career out of playing in the NFL.
Can't ask for much more. 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start.
Now the former Ohio State Buckeye. Here's J.K. Dobbins. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. He'll give it to Dobbins. And he will work this down inside the 40. That's going to be good enough to move the chains. First down. Now, following the run, one of the offensive linemen leading the way is a bit shaken up. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially, that it's not too serious. On 1st and 10, here's Herbert. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
You can't beat a running quarterback. Gain of 16 and a first down.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on 3rd down. Starts out as a pass. Nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner. Picks up the first down.
Here's Dobbins. And he's going to be taken down.
Let's give some love to the big guys up front here, Mike. The offensive line is looking good here early to start the game. Couple nice big explosive runs. Expect them to continue to lean on the big guys up front as the rest of this game unfolds.
There is his tight end, Disley. And he will get into the end zone.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down to score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score on the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come over with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Dicker, good with the extra point. And his guys come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. This is going to be taken in at the 3. He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. The visitors' offense ready to see the football for the second time. We'll try to break out of this deadlock. We are all even at 7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
You could tell the entire time that running back is just looking for his crease to get vertical and cut back. But the defense does a great job. Inside-out pursuit, strings this ball out towards the sideline. Nowhere to go, and they make a big stop for no gain.
The run up the middle, it's Walker. Brought down at the 21, a gain of 1. Here's a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. We're about ready now for the punt. Back deep is Darius Davis. Oh, how about the coverage there? Met and dropped before he can get a return going. The home team's offense about ready to get going on their 2nd possession. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with 1st down. Go. Shotgun now for Herbert. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. Lad McConkey, the one he was looking for. And it'll lead to a 2nd down. Tight end going in motion here. Herbert to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to the TCU man, Quentin Johnston. Whoa! Wow, out of bounds, inside the 10, it's 1st and goal. It's a big one right there. That gains an even 60 yards.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
Hey, go Lion, 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 Lion. Go.
Out of the gun, here's Herbert. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Now it's Dobbins. Looking for a seam, but will not find one. He'll take this down to the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal. On play action, it's Herbert. And that will be incomplete. They could not hook up on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Here's Cameron Dicker now on for the field goal. This about as short as you can get. Dicker's kick is good. And his guys will break our tie and take a 10-7 lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
The visitors' offense starting to trot out for this next possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
To throw is Howell. That's over the middle, complete to Brown.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Here's Howell. Fine work defensively. That's going to be knocked away and go down as an incompletion.
He does a fantastic job, Mike, of not only locating the ball in the air, but then attacking it hands on hands. That's exactly something they work on every week in practice. Great job translating those drills into a live game.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
Throwing is Howell. That's caught. It's Jalen Darden. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Just take what the defense is giving you. And you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, pitch routes, quick game. Now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough, you're never going to get the receiver. I mean, think, he started on the left side of the formation in the slot, and he has to run all the way across the field to the right third. I mean, that takes a lot of time. Let's give a lot of credit to the big guys up front.
Here's a run. He'll be wrapped up there down at the 3-yard line. Here now, 2nd down and goal. They'll try to run this one in. He slams it in there, and he is in. A lot of big bodies down there, but at the end of the day, the one that mattered, the one with the ball, finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, once that back gets the ball, Mike, he's just looking for a little crack of daylight, and he's thinking, I'm going to run into it and just hope I come out the other side. And in this case, the other side's the end zone, and they get 6.
Myers now to add the PAT. He's got it. And the visitors are on top. It's 14-10. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. The home team's offense ready to take over once again. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. A handoff here to start the drive, but this will end up being a reverse. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll throw with Heineke. A throw on the move is caught. Third down, 3 to go.
Let's go now.
Throwing, Heineke. He's going to have the first down and then some. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
Here we go, set. Let's go.
They're going to motion the tight end over here. 2 minutes remain here in this first half. Greg and I will be right back after this. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
Go. Go.
Heineke. That's to the tight end, Hurst. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Here's Heineke. This throw taken in by Hurst. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter. So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
Now Heineke. He'll get it inside the 20. Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and that's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game. So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call. They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
That's to the end zone, but they can't connect. It's incomplete.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on third down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up 4th down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6? And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
From the 6, here comes a return. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The visitors' offense going to take over just before the half. Their lead is just a point as they begin it on this drive with 1st and 10. And that's not going to yield a whole lot to about the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half. This time they stay on the ground. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we're off to Orlando, going to check in with Jonathan Coachman, who's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Back to you two in just a moment. The preseason is upon us as these two teams get things rolling. They'll have 2 more games after this to get ready before week 1 comes our way. It'll be here before you know it. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed. They'll watch the second half with the shoulder pads off, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Mike Tirico.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. I like we're going to play a big role in who wins this one. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decides not to bring it out, so they'll take over at the 30-yard line. The home team's offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. The deficit is 1, as they'll search now for that go-ahead score. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on first down.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. The question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
15 yards through the air, and that will be a first down. Throwing is Heineke. Looking middle of the field, it's complete. Second and a yard.
Here we go.
Off the play fake. He'll look to... Oh, the blitz gets there quickly, and down he goes.
A 7-yard loss brings up third down.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. To throw is Heineke. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
The visitors' offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. This will begin at their own 13-yard line. So work to do starting with this 1st and 10. The drive will start on the ground. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down. They'll throw with Howell. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
It's always a risky decision anytime a quarterback tries to force the ball, especially into those tightly contested areas. Not a lot of daylight, not a lot of room for error. In this case, it just falls simply as an incomplete. But as this game unfolds, better decisions are going to lead to better results.
A big play on that one. And even 30 yards.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield perfect throw and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Powell. That one, oh, it's on target, but it goes as an incompletion. Looked like he had that one in his grasp, but unable to hold on, and it will be second down. Receiver in motion, going right. And that's going to be incomplete, but a flag down in the backfield. That's the area we usually see holding.
Still second down.
Back to throw. Howell. This one complete to Bobo. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Now it's Howell. And on third down, that ball incomplete.
The most important stat, Mike, to determine wins and losses in the NFL is clearly turnover differential, your ability to protect the ball, and on defense, take the ball away. And for any offense, that's even more critical when you have the ball on your side of the field.
The home team's offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll begin with first down from their own 11. They'll begin here on the ground. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's second down.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 12-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. Down the field, he's got Rager. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
While everybody wants to attack the middle of the field, you just have to make sure you don't do it recklessly. You want to make sure you protect both the ball and your receiver, and in this case, he does both. Puts it on the money, picks up a big gain.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Now a give up the middle. And a short pickup here, brought down just shy of midfield. Second down and 8.
Here we go.
A first carry for Gus Edwards. And he'll push his way ahead for a gain of 2. Draymond Jones able to bring him down. 3rd and 6. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. Trying to find some seam out there, but he will not. They get him behind the line. And fourth down is coming up. Punt team out, ready to send this one away. They'll be looking for something a little better than that first effort, which he shanked. So that one going to land out of bounds, and the official's going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. This team's offense getting set to get back to work. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. Quick throw, taken in. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
You can see this connection is just starting really to pick up. They're seeing the game through the same set of eyes, and that is the job of the receiver. What is my quarterback expecting from me? Where does he want me? Be there on time, and it leads to big gains like this.
They'll turn and hand this one off. He'll get this down to the 44, but that's about it. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Bobo is the motion man. Thrown into a sea of bodies, but it's complete. And that's a 1st down. It will be a gain of 8. To throw is Howell. That's going to be incomplete, and the clock will stop. Likely one more play in this 3rd quarter.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. EA Sports back for more from the NFL preseason after this. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. Here's Howell. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for 3rd down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
This taken at the 5. Now, on the return, he has lost the football. Special teams has come up with the recovery. Special teams comes through again. We don't talk about it nearly enough, but sometimes the biggest plays of the game happen like that one. The kickoff return, fumble, recovered, and momentum swings again.
Everybody loves to see a big return, Mike, but the priority of any kick return unit, just give your offense a chance to possess the ball. And in this case, they don't do that. They turn the ball over, and now they find themselves back out there on defense.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he'll bring this inside the 15. That's good enough for the 1st down.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a 1st down.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a touchdown. But I don't think he knows yet that this one is coming back.
Holding offense.
So holding is the call. And take that touchdown off the board. Slot man in motion right. Throwing is Howell. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back.
how fast things can flip. You find yourself in first and a mile after taking a penalty on first down. But that chunk play there in the passing game now gets them back in sequence with the chains and brings up a more manageable second down.
Back to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back.
I think the days where cornerbacks are either unwilling or unable to be involved in the run game, I think those days are over, Mike. I think when you look around the landscape of today's NFL, yes, you have to cover, but you also have to be able to come up and tackle.
And he's not going to get there again. Same player, same result. No gain, and now it's fourth down. Pressure's on. Here's the veteran, Jason Myers. This to stretch the lead to a touchdown. And this one right down the middle. It's good. A big 3 points as they extend their fourth quarter lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. So now this team's offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. A quick throw. That's complete on the slant. They'll come up here on second down and 5. A handoff as they try to run it here. He's inside the 30. A big run. They finally get to him and bring him down.
That's as dynamic a run as you're going to see. He gets really good initial blocking at the point of attack. That springs him loose. But then it's just his speed and open field running that does the rest.
Throwing, Heineke. And this is too far over the end line. It's incomplete.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
Up the middle they go. And that big offensive line. Clearing space. He's in. A huge touchdown there in the fourth quarter. And now just a point away from tying the game.
And that's one of those drives, Mike, where you know your best is needed. Can you come through here late and give your team a chance? They're an extra point away from tying this thing up, and we got ourselves a ball game.
The kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the fourth quarter. So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. This will be returned from the 6. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. They'll look to set up the screen here. And they're going to mark them down up past the 35.
I like the call. Using the screen as a drive starter to pick up a chunk play and get this offense into some rhythm. It's clear this offensive play caller anticipated the rush of the defense, and he was able to use it against them.
He'll look to throw. The coverage too strong that side. The ball batted away and incomplete.
Just a great example of not only the anticipation, but the instincts to go break that pass up, Mike. You can see he's clearly looking at the quarterback's eyes, and once that ball was delivered, he's just attacking it and breaking it up.
Quick throw here is complete. Now inside the 25. Wow, out of bounds. Inside the 10. It's first and goal. It's a big play when they needed it the most. A gain of 57 yards.
They really showed off their connection on that pitch and catch, Mike, and just really good ball placement and really good separation downfield. And when those two things align, it's just really challenging for a defender to stay with him and take that play away.
A run on 1st and goal. He slowed up quickly as he gets this down to the 6. Now, 2nd and goal. They put the tight end Brown in motion. Now they'll set up to throw. He is in. Greg, every touchdown counts the same, but the ones you get in the 4th quarter, they are the ones that feel a little more important.
Yeah, now the pressure shifts to your defense. Your offense was able to go out and get the lead here late. Does your defense have enough left in them to get one more stop?
Now the point after try from Myers. He's got it, and the visitors will go up by 7.
Visitors 27, our home team 20.
So the lead is 7 now. Here in this 4th quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. On the return, this is Jalen Reagor. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. They'll come up for 1st and 10. Now Heineke. A throw left side there, not going to find the target. Incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. Plenty of time, all 3 timeouts left. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Go.
They'll drop to throw. Open man is Davis. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
Here's 1st down. Heineke. Nowhere to go. He is taken down. Now on 2nd and long. Now this defense will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll get together prior to this 2nd down play.
Ready.
Here's Heineke. And the rush gets there. Down he goes. Now another timeout called by this offense. They have 1 remaining. And it comes with 1:15 left to go in the 2nd half. That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
They desperately needed that one, Mike. Down here late, they've only got a few remaining snaps to go, and it puts all of the pressure of the game now on 4th down. Let's see what play call they have in a gotta-have-it situation, and right now, this quarterback needs to make his best throw in the biggest moment of the game. Finding yourself down to your final timeout, this is the moment. This is the drive that you have to find a way to extend if you're going to claw yourself back into this game. But the defense comes up with a huge stop, and that will all but end this game.
set to go now on 1st and 10. Bobo is the motion man. They'll go with a counter on 1st down. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. He's going to lose a yard. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. They'll send their tight end left. They'll stick with him again. He'll turn this into a gain of about 4. It's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll try to get this one on the ground.
You can always tell what a team's decision will be on 4th down, Mike, based on what they do on 3rd down. In this case, unfortunately, they didn't get enough yards on the ground to make that 4th down more manageable. So I think they have to reconsider whether they go for it here.
So it's a win for our visitors as they start things out with a victory here in the first week of this preseason. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.